A big hello to all the Talk to Me Tuesday gals. My name is Robin. I'm RsIslandCrafts. I am a crafting dabbler. I like crafts. I like to try a little bit of everything. I quilt. This is my latest finish, where at the end of this video I will flash back a little and show you what this quilt is all about behind me and give you the meanings behind everything. I knit, I crochet, I hand embroider. I love to do hand stitching and hand quilting. I have a hexie quilt going. I have a diamond star quilt going, a hand embroidery quilt. If you've watched my other video, if it's popped up yet, otherwise you can see it on my YouTube channel, I did a quick flash of all the current projects I'm working on right now in 5 minutes or less. Yeah, that's about me in a nutshell. I just kind of putter from craft to craft. What I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to show one main like sewing or quilting one. I do sew a little bit of clothing for kids, and I want to start altering and sewing my own clothing. So you'll be seeing some of that here and there. I've been having fun watching everyone's videos and getting caught up with everyone to see what they're doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to be doing in the future too. Alright, let's head outside and I'll tell you about this quilt I made. So I finally got Robbie's graduation quilt done. It's Plaid the Quilt. As you can see, I have it outside hanging up on the neighbor's fence in all its glory. It feels huge to me. I'll pop in down at the bottom what the measurements are when I actually get it. Wanted to show you a few of the details. I went ahead and used this red and white, it was plaid, you can't see that now, but it was a nice plaid binding. I added a couple of his pockets on. They're completely usable because of where I cut it off with the shirt. I just sewed around. Open up the pocket. I mean, if he was younger, it'd be great. He could put treasures in it, but who knows what he would do now. He's 18. There's another one. I put another pocket over here. I love this green. This one's actually doing a dual purpose. When I'd taken apart the quilt 17 million times, actually 2, somehow this seam where it hits the black right here, I didn't get it in there very well, so there was a section about 1 inch that was unsewn. So I just went ahead and hand stitched it and then threw this pocket on top. I'd always planned on using the pockets as an adornment. I saved the collars, the button bands, the wrist parts, you know, the cuff of the collar. This blue, this aqua blue, is one of my favorites. But every one of these is a shirt he's worn from middle school or high school. As you can see, I did the organic. As you can see, I did the organic straight line quilting. Then I washed it. It's got the cotton batting, so it got all nice and crinkly. Do some of the black in, because like I said before, I'd run out of some gray squares. There's the front. Beautiful July day. Those nice white puffy clouds will turn into storm clouds in about 3 hours, but for now it's nice. This is the first time I used a binding foot. It's not too bad. It was hard to figure out exactly where to put it for the needle and everything. So you can see some places it's a little bit ruffly. But overall, I think it's really good. And, you know, as you know, the more you do it, the better it gets. The purple. This red and white plaid was one of his first shirts, not one of his favorites. He ended up loving all these. All these different ones, they all came from Kohl's. There was some type of character on TV that he loved that had a shirt just like that. When I cut them out, I didn't care whether the plaid was straight or not, because I just wanted usable fabric. And when you're cutting from a shirt, you just do whatever. And if a bunch of them are all crooked, then it becomes a design element. Did have a problem with all these pieces of strings, fuzzies everywhere. He said it's washed, it's crinkled, quilted in straight organic lines on the diagonal. It'll crinkle up a couple more times when he washes it, and it'll fade a little because, you know, they are shirts, even though they have been pre-washed. These blacks, they were one of his favorites. They had snaps on it. It just, short sleeve, fit him really well. He loved it. I love the green. Alright, give me a second and I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to flip you around and show you the other side. And here's the back of the quilt. Just ignore all them weeds growing up. I've been doing some yard work, haven't gotten to this point yet. As you can see, obviously it's a piece back. When I put those pockets on, I did it after it was all quilted, but before the binding. So you can see where I sewed the pockets on. Sometimes it would bother people, but for me, I don't know, you know, it's a pocket. It adds that little design bit. See how well the red binding, the red and white plaid works with the back. This is a green shirt from middle school. He wore it a little, not a big fan. He wore a lot of black pants and black shirts, so there's that. Blue is his favorite color, so I used that. This was that warm winter shirt I was telling you about before. They didn't wear too often. And I was able to use some of the large pieces still to show off his shirts. Black and white one with snaps. The red and white is when he was in a play his junior year of high school. He was in Cinderella. He was the king. And when him and his wife, the queen, were sitting in the room talking, he was changing. He was putting these were his boxers, his underwear. He was putting his pants on when his daughter walked in to complain about something. So it was one of those funny scenes. So I decided he really liked that and the play and being in it, so I put that onto the back. Then I had some leftover squares. Another nice blue and gray shirt. More blues and blues. Then I had a lot of the leftover squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5.5. So I put 5 of them right through there. Bordered it off with the white. I thought that looked pretty good to set it aside. This Batman fabric was actually curtains in his room from when he was younger. Because we had a roll-up shade in between his curtains and the window. They never got faded. So I just went ahead and took some of that fabric and added it to the back. Here is that red and golden colored plaid shirt. Too hot for the Florida winters, really. Plus he was a hoodie guy, so I just paired it with this gold fabric I thought I had, so I thought it looked really great as kind of like a Gryffindor scarf. Since Harry Potter was a big part of his life, it worked out good. Then I thought I'd go ahead and use, there was 2 reasons I used the gold for the label. One, I could put it over here and it would blend in and not stick out really brightly if I used a white or a gray on the darker fabric, and I already had a piece cut. And as usual, even though I pinned it, the sucker's on there crooked. Whatever. You'll figure out soon enough that I'm not that particular with my quilting. That's why I like to do scraps and wonky quilts, because it comes out how it comes out.